On Christmas Day, I specially took leave and rode a 3-hour high-speed train to surprise my boyfriend. As soon as I got off the ride-hailing car, I encountered a downpour and rushed into a convenience store to buy an umbrella. While selecting an umbrella, the girl next to me was talking to her friend about her boyfriend. He's very clingy. If I ignore him for an hour, he can send me 99 new messages. Today too, he insisted on acting spoiled to make me go to the recording studio with him. If it weren't for the Christmas gift, I wouldn't go. Her friend laughed at her. Being able to snag a high-quality guy like Ethan, you should be secretly thrilled. I froze in place. Because my boyfriend is also named Ethan. Coincidentally, his recording studio is nearby. As if compelled by some unseen force, I took out my phone and sent Ethan a message. Ethan, it's Christmas tonight, do you still have to work overtime? He didn't reply. The girl next to me linked arms with her friend and went to the checkout. She shook her phone. Look, just 5 minutes, and he's asking if I've arrived yet. While chatting and laughing with her friend, she reached toward the family planning products shelf. Her friend winked at her. 2 boxes? Luna, you and Ethan are so affectionate, so complaining about Ethan being clingy was just showing off to me? The girl coquettishly said, if I don't drain him dry, should I leave him for other little vixens? Other customers in the convenience store glanced over, some snickering. But the girl didn't care at all, tossing her big waves and walking out with her friend. I finished paying and followed them out. Up to this point, I only thought the shared name was a coincidence. In December's winter, this girl named Luna was still wearing a crop top under her coat, exposing her bare calves. She looked just over 20, her face full of sunny recklessness. Completely different from me, with my shirt buttoned to the top. At the roadside, Luna's friend hailed a cab, said goodbye, and left. She hummed a song and continued walking forward. At every intersection, our chosen directions were the same. Hearing the song she was humming clearly, my steps unconsciously slowed. It was Ethan's new song that he personally composed and recorded, released to the public only today. Even I had only heard a few lines of the chorus in a video. Luna picked up her phone and dialed, Ethan, I'm almost there, come to the door to pick me up. Whatever was said on the other end, she said in a mock-angry tone, I'm wearing a lot, not cold at all, if you don't believe me, come check yourself. You can put your hand into my coat, my top, and my... I glanced down at my phone. Still no reply. Cold wind seeped through my sleeves, making me shiver involuntarily. My fingertip hovered over the screen, and I pressed the call button. A mechanical female voice coldly replied, temporarily unable to connect. I understood, he had turned on Do Not Disturb mode. This year, he said work was very busy. Once in the recording studio, he had no time to answer calls. Not being able to contact him wasn't the first time. Ethan. Luna suddenly jogged a few steps forward and threw herself into a man's embrace. I slightly lifted my umbrella and looked ahead. With just one glance, I was nailed to the spot. The man held an umbrella, helplessly hugging Luna tightly, his other hand helplessly ruffling her hair. You. He had a face etched into my bones. At 5 years old, we held hands walking back from kindergarten to the same neighborhood. He gave me the chocolate he'd hidden in his pocket for most of the day. Serena, from now on, all my snacks are for you. At 15, when first love blossomed, he awkwardly told me to throw away the love letters in my backpack. Those boys all have ulterior motives, they're not as good to you as I am. At 19, for our first love, he took an overnight hard-seat train to see me, the gifts he carried leaving red marks on his hands. At 23, he came to Shanghai alone to start a business. In his rented room in the urban village, he cooked for me, choking and coughing. Yet he remembered to tell me to stay away. Serena, I'll find you a hotel tonight, it's too damp here, you won't sleep well. Last month, he stuffed the brand new property deed into my hands. Wife, once the house is renovated, we'll get the marriage certificate. For a full 28 years, childhood sweethearts, we grew into a symbiotic tree. But in this second, everything turned to ashes. Rain fell on the umbrella surface, pattering. Only when they embraced and turned to leave did I come out of my stupor. The phone lit up. It was Ethan. Busy, inconvenient to answer calls. The sudden downpour made my shoes fill with water. The wet-cold sensation spread from my feet, as if my legs were filled with cement, stiff in place, unable to move. I gathered my coat. With shaking hands, I dialed again. Busy tone again. Ethan sent a new message. Said I'm busy, don't call me. I bit my lip tightly, typing word by word. Busy with work, or busy cheating? Just about to send, a cry came from behind. Get out of the way. I didn't react in time and was knocked down by the out-of-control electric bike. The world spun, and I fell sideways onto the slippery ground. Sharp wet cold seeped through my clothes, pain delayed a beat climbing from my knee to my heart. I slowly stood up, raising my hand to wipe the wetness from my face. The delivery rider hurried over. Are you okay? Seeing him also disheveled, I waved and said, I'm fine. The phone screen went completely black. The question I was about to send had no follow-up. I found a nearby hotel, took a hot shower. Downstairs, I casually bought a phone and inserted my SIM card. Ethan sent a new message. Something tonight, no video, chat tomorrow, be good. I blinked my dry eyes, sitting blankly on the bed. I really didn't understand. Why? Why would Ethan cheat? And that girl, does she know she's the third party? Thinking of something, I opened the social app. Although I didn't know the exact spelling of her name, I quickly found her in Ethan's Instagram comments. Her profile picture was taken in Ethan's room. The curtains in the background were ones I spent 3 hours hunting for at the fabric market. Ethan often stayed up late working at night, worried about his light sensitivity affecting his sleep. I specially had the tailor thicken them. Luna is a fashion blogger with quite a few followers. I scrolled down. The earliest post related to Ethan appeared in June. Luna linking arms with a man, background a comedy club. Caption, first date with someone, so happy. That club was where I took Ethan to listen to stand-up comedy to relax, seeing his work stress. He clearly promised, Serena, I'll only go with you, so those happy moments are only known to us. In July, Luna and Ethan went on an island vacation together. It was on my birthday. Ethan said he was on a business trip, but in the post, he was accompanying Luna in her first surf challenge. My whole body went cold. Ethan didn't appear full face in any photo, but I couldn't deceive myself into ignoring those familiar details. Opening DMs, I sent Luna a message. Hello, do you know Ethan has a girlfriend? Did he lie to you that he's single? Less than half an hour later, Luna posted a new update. The skirt in the picture looked like a white lab coat, but its length barely covered her butt. Tonight's battle outfit, spoiled to someone, he loves it. I clenched my teeth, shivering with cold. Just last month, after work, seeing Ethan who had just returned home, I excitedly jumped into his arms. But he gently pushed me away. He frowned, Serena, you smell like hospital disinfectant. Luna replied to the DM, Dr. Serena, I know you. In matters of love, we each rely on our abilities, winner takes all. But now it seems like you lost. I sarcastically tugged at the corner of my mouth. The night after the college entrance exam, Ethan asked me to the park near the neighborhood. Under the moonlight, he blushed as he pulled out a guarantee. Ethan guarantees that Serena is always number one with me. His eyes shone brightly, Serena, be with me. During our university years apart, many didn't think we'd last, but we didn't drift apart. After he graduated and chose to start a business, in the toughest times he didn't dare tell his parents. I gave him my scholarships and graduate subsidies for living expenses. From rented rooms to large apartments, to the fully paid villa wedding house. He said, once your residency ends, you can switch jobs to Shanghai to be with me. Just a few months away. Happiness at the doorstep. But today, he let a strange girl declare that I lost. Luna sent another DM. It was a secretly recorded video. Ethan's eyes were hazy, looking somewhat drunk. Luna giggled. Ethan, what kind of person is your girlfriend? The bar music was loud, but didn't cover his reply. Don't mention her, every day the same. So boring. He looked at the camera with the gentleness I knew. What fresh thing to play today? The camera shook, ambiguous kissing sounds arose. The phone screen went dark, reflecting my pale face. The images in my mind made me nauseous. Rushing to the toilet to dry heave a few times, I opened my phone to book a high-speed train ticket home. While packing, pain in my lower right abdomen came in waves, my forehead covered in large beads of sweat. Guessing it might be acute appendicitis, I took a cab straight to the hospital. Flu season peak, the ER was so crowded there were no seats. I squatted outside the clinic, in too much pain to stand. At 3 a.m., I finally got the ultrasound report. The doctor asked, from the symptoms and ultrasound, it's indeed acute appendicitis, best to operate soon. Your family didn't come? Just then, Ethan's call came in. I hung up. He persistently called again. In the quiet clinic, the ringtone was impossible to ignore. I answered, it was his anxious, out-of-character tone. I have a friend whose foot was cut by a vase, how to handle it? Luna's low sobs came from the other end. If I hadn't discovered, I'd probably be foolish enough to think it was a studio employee. The last bit of warmth dissipated, I said coldly, handle it however you want. Serena. You're a doctor, listen to what you're saying. Ethan's roar came through the phone. I curled into a ball, trying hard to suppress the pain. Thinking of the vase in the living room, which Ethan and I picked together at a home store. We had agreed to bring it to the new home. Now, it's probably shattered completely. Ethan continued, it's midnight, inconvenient to disturb others, so I asked you, she's crying in pain, tell me quickly how to handle it. My eye sockets ached with soreness, I tilted my head back, forcing the hot liquid back into my throat and nasal cavity. The doctor opposite took out the surgery consent form, if family didn't come, you can sign yourself. Ethan was silent for a few seconds. You're in the hospital? Without waiting for my answer, he confidently said, on night shift, right? Since you're not resting, is it hard to answer me? What tantrum are you throwing? Tears finally fell, I smiled lightly. You're right. I'm throwing a tantrum. Ethan, you and I, this is the end. Ethan hung up first. He scoffed, if you won't say, then don't, it's not like I must have you. The disconnect tone intertwined with the raindrops outside, inexplicably making one feel cold. I put down the phone, smiling apologetically at the doctor. Sorry, for letting you see the joke. My voice hoarse, my family can't come, I'll sign myself. When I opened my eyes again, I was lying alone in the ward. The wound site faintly ached. Several new messages on the phone. From hospital leaders, colleagues, and my parents. After reporting my surgery to the leader, I requested 2 more days off. Only facing my parents' concern, I couldn't help feeling guilty. Mom's tone was anxious, didn't you say you'd come back today? Did something happen? An adult's breakdown is maintaining normal life even when heartbroken. Taking a deep breath, I said lightly, a big shot came to the partner hospital for a lecture, I stayed to learn for 2 days. I explained repeatedly, Mom hung up half believing. Enduring pain, I fell asleep for less than an hour. Ethan pushed open the ward door. He placed a bouquet aside, raised his hand to touch my face. Serena, last night why? His fingers had a scent of alcohol mixed with floral perfume. The same perfume scent. I smelled it on Luna yesterday. I turned my head, dodging his action. He lowered his eyes, withdrew his hand. I didn't know you came to see me. Today when Auntie said you didn't go home on time, I searched several hospitals to find you. Looking at the back of my head, his tone helpless. Must you be like this? He took out a bracelet, stuffed it into my hand. Make up Christmas gift, don't be angry, My palm was ice cold. Just 5 minutes before I entered the operating room, Luna posted an update. Under the Christmas tree, piled with gifts. She opened them one by one: limited edition bag, new phone, double overseas vacation hotel booking. Only this gold bracelet, she pouted dissatisfied. The style is a bit old-fashioned. I want to pick one myself in the store. The person filming laughed indulgently. Fine, if you don't like it, I can throw it away, right? I extended my hand over the bed edge, letting the bracelet fall to the ground. Opened my mouth, throat dry. Ethan, let's break up. Break up? He shook his head incredulously. Scoffed lightly, my mom and your mom are already discussing engagement banquet hotels. You're breaking up with me now? Serena, you're not a little girl anymore, don't be so unreasonable. While speaking, his pocket phone kept ringing. He took it out, lowered his head to reply. The ward suddenly became too quiet, letting me clearly see the gentleness and patience in his brows. I repeated, break up, no wedding. His face completely darkened. Don't joke, this isn't funny at all. I propped myself up, handed him the flowers from the cabinet. Take the flowers too. Probably bought temporarily at the hospital entrance, with 2 lilies I'm allergic to mixed in. Ethan stood motionless, some impatience in his eyes. I looked at him carefully. The face once imprinted on my heart, how is it different now? Stop messing around. His voice ice cold. I lightly tugged my lip. Ethan, I've seen Luna. Not breaking up, do you want her to be the mistress for life? He stiffened. The bouquet slipped, fell to the ground, all dirty. What Luna? Ethan stared at me tightly. Who told you nonsense? Serena, we've been together so many years, don't you trust me at all? I didn't speak. My eye sockets uncontrollably reddened. How could I not trust him? The person who once set his phone password to my birthday, shared every meal with me, video called morning and night every day. How did we unknowingly drift apart? How I hoped all this was fake. But the pierced spot deep in my heart reminded me to stay sober. He gave a piece of his life puzzle to someone else. So it could no longer piece together our completeness. I took out my phone, opened the DM chat with Luna. Ethan, don't lie to me. You know, I have a cleanliness obsession. He stared at the screen. Like nailed in place, body rigid. I feigned ease, that's it then. I'll explain to my family, you handle your uncle and auntie. The things you gave me before, I'll sort and return, the ones I gave, don't want them. I tilted my head, seems like nothing else. Once thought inseparable, but when it really comes to discarding, cutting is just like that. 28 years of intimacy, turns out just so. No wonder he can say discard and discard. Ethan looked up at me. He murmured, I'm not. I don't want to break up. I interrupted him, don't explain to me. Ethan, don't explain those cheating details, I don't want to know. All about Luna. All too disgusting. Those details like tiny grains of sand, rattling in my mind nonstop. Piercing the past love and sincerity to shreds isn't enough, they also remind me that the person I truly loved was so unworthy. I'm the bastard. Serena, but I didn't really want anything with her. Ethan's voice was extremely hoarse. This matter, I indeed didn't grasp the scale, I shouldn't have. But we've been together so long. Serena, do you really bear to just discard me like this? I closed my eyes, swallowed the bloody taste in my mouth. Ethan, don't apologize, don't make me the victim. One apology can't compensate my loss. Instead, it makes me look more like a loser. I don't care about his mental journey, don't want to hear his sophistry and uncertain remorse. What I want is a clean break. Serena. I made a mistake, but did I kill or arson? What heinous crime did I commit that you won't even look at me? Ethan suddenly got agitated, tightly grabbing my shoulders. I won't do this again, okay? I'll immediately clarify with Luna, never see her again, okay? Look at me, I've loved you so many years, how can you be so heartless? His hands trembled unconsciously. You can't just sentence me out, I just got distracted, not that I don't love you. He pressed his face to mine, trying to recall past intimacies. But I smelled that perfume again. Turning my head, I couldn't help dry heaving twice. He incredulously reddened his eyes, voice trembling. "Serena, you can't treat me like this." Not getting a response, he raised his volume. "I just made a small mistake, why won't you relent?" "So many people make mistakes, haven't you ever been distracted for a moment?" Anyone used to an unchanging life would want to try something else. I haven't. Tears finally fell from my eyes despite holding back. "Ethan, I haven't." In teary blur, I couldn't see his face clearly. The stable happiness I thought, turns out was his tiresome unchanging. "I don't want it, go." Finally unable to hold back collapse, I shouted sternly, "Get out. Don't disgust me. Those beautiful memories, I don't want. The happiness he promised, I don't want. Past and future related to him, I don't want any." Ethan almost fled the ward. Before today, he never thought this scene would happen. He leaned on the wall, took out a cigarette, then remembered it's a hospital, irritably crumpling the pack. Suddenly, he smelled the perfume on his fingertips. The corridor disinfectant smell was strong, but couldn't cover the lingering floral note. He vaguely thought, was it so obvious? The phone vibrated again, it was Luna. He stared at the screen for a long time before answering. "Ethan, why haven't you come back? My wound hurts so much." Her voice sticky, with deliberate grievance. Ethan's fingers stiffened. His thoughts drifted back. When Luna was cut by the vase late at night, was Serena in the hospital waiting for someone to sign for her? Luna's wound was only 1 or 2 centimeters, even the pharmacy doctor said no big deal. What about Serena's wound? Does Serena hurt? He realized he forgot to ask. Ethan closed his eyes, his mind full of Serena's pale face and that cold breakup. "Luna." He spoke, voice hoarse even to himself. "I won't see you again, leave on your own." "What did you say?" Luna's voice suddenly sharpened. "Ethan, what do you mean?" "Just the literal meaning." He pinched the cigarette pack in his palm. "Don't contact me anymore." "Because of Serena?" Luna sneered. "Did she find you?" "What did she say?" "Ethan, are you stupid? That kind of woman, rule-abiding all her life, what's the point? What can she give you? I can help your career, make you happy, can she?" Her tone grew more disdainful. "And you've been with her so many years, aren't you tired? Didn't you say I gave you lots of freshness, inspired you a lot? She's not as good as me in these." "Enough." Ethan coldly interrupted her, feeling his temples throbbing. He didn't expect his indulgence gave Luna so many illusions. His tone hard. "Our matter has nothing to do with her." "Nothing? Huh." Luna laughed as if hearing the biggest joke. "Ethan, don't deceive yourself, these months together, the words you said to me, the things we did, you forgot? You said she's boring, being with me feels like living, forgot?" Every word like a slap, making his cheeks burn. Those complaints and comparisons blurted an ambiguous atmosphere now became the sharpest boomerang, stabbing back into his heart. "Those don't count." Ethan said with difficulty, "Money and things I won't take back, consider compensation. Give you 2 hours to pack and leave my house, later I'll have the amp clean. Don't find me again." Without waiting for Luna to say more, he hung up and directly blocked her. The world finally quiet, but his heart like a hole, cold wind whistling in. He drove home. Along the way, his mind chaotic, one moment Serena as a child following him calling a che, the next her tears streaming saying I don't want it. Not paying attention, he ran a red light. When he reacted, the Serena in front disappeared. Only the cold guardrail he crashed into. My parents still rushed to the hospital. When I saw them, I was trying to get out of bed. Mom's eyes reddened upon seeing me, Dad silently supported my shoulder. I didn't mention Ethan, just said acute appendicitis flared, surgery done. Mom wiped tears, "You child. Why didn't you tell us earlier? You alone here." "It's fine. I gently hugged Mom. They took me home to recuperate. Before leaving Shanghai, I express mailed the wedding house keys to Ethan. Back home, Mom varied soups for me. I ate quietly, checked on time, wound healing day by day. Just often woke at night, staring at the ceiling till dawn. When sleepless, I'd get up to sort Ethan-related things. Childhood dolls, movie ticket stubs, photos from small to big, train tickets from long-distance rushes. Scattered, filled a big box. On Express Day, Dad silently helped seal the box, asked nothing. Third day after sending, Ethan's call came. I looked at the jumping name on screen, hung up. He messaged, "Received things, Serena, let's talk." I didn't reply. He sent, "I'm downstairs, you're home." I went to the window, lifted curtain corner. He stood by the holly, shadow stretched long by streetlight, looking up at my window. I drew the curtain, shut down. Next morning, Dad back from market said, "That guy downstairs stood all night, just left." I didn't respond, head down drinking porridge. Mom slammed chopsticks, "Next time he comes, I'll beat him up." Unfaithful people, forgive once, there'll be countless times. Daughter, don't soften, split is split, old doesn't go, new won't come. Dad sighed. Yes, my daughter is a medical doctor, Ethan missed out, his loss. I nodded, hiding my heated eyes. Ethan returned to parents' home. Upon entering, greeted by father throwing ashtray. Bastard. Richard's face ashen, Shin family called, said you broke up, no wedding. What's going on? Ethan didn't dodge, ashtray grazed his forehead, leaving a red mark. Helen pulled him to sit, urgently asked, quarreled with Serena? How big a deal to break up? Ethan lowered eyes, my fault. We're wrong. Father stern. Wrong, don't you know to apologize, get forgiveness? Before you stubbornly went to Shanghai to start business, said to give her better life, now she wants to break up, why mute? I did something sorry to her. Living room instantly dead silent. Richard stood abruptly, pointing, you have someone outside? Ethan silent. Helen stared blankly, after a while, slapped him. You're crazy? Her voice trembled, that's Serena. Serena you grew up with. You knew each other since small, when young we were busy, Serena's parents picked you up from school, let you eat dinner at home. University long distance, many guessed you'd split after graduation, you didn't. We're planning your marriage next year, now you tell me you did sorry to her? Helen covered face, dejectedly sat on sofa. Ethan, what were you thinking? Serena is like our daughter, tell parents, how do we face Shin family later? Ethan sleepless night, voice hoarse, I was momentarily confused. Richard grabbed feather duster, whipped him, make you confused. Make you sorry to Serena. Helen cried blocking, Ethan didn't dodge, let the beating. Apologize. Richard panted, beg Serena forgiveness, or I have no such fickle son. Ethan lifted swollen eyes, she won't see me. Then kneel. Kneel till she agrees. Ethan came again. Downstairs my home, standing from morning to night. Neighbors peeked, gossiped. Third day evening, I went down. His eyes lit, quick steps over, Serena. I handed him a file bag. What's this? The money you transferred me these years, I calculated, approximate amount inside. I said calmly, refund excess, supplement short, if not enough, I'll make up later. His face instantly paled, I don't want money. I do. I interrupted, clear division good for both. He clenched the bag, knuckles white, I really know wrong, Serena, give me one more chance, okay? I'll change, really, give me chance to make up. I shook head. Serena. His voice choked, 28 years, we knew each other 28 years. You just say don't want and don't? You didn't want first. I looked at him. Ethan, you chose someone else between us. He opened mouth, no sound. Go back. I said, don't come, my parents see you upset. Turning, he hoarsely said, "Luna, I really cut her off, really, that day back from hospital, I made her leave. Irrelevant to me now." I walked into the stairwell, no look back. Complete severance hurts, but I must. I've lost love, can't lose dignity too. Thought everything would fade with time. But a week later, an accident happened. Luna trended. A drunk video posted online by her friend. In the video, red-eyed, holding glass crying, he says, "Cut, what am I?" I accompanied him so long, he flips face flips. Friend off-screen fanning, "Men all like that, got hand don't cherish." But that's Serena too shameless, relying on knowing early forces you break up. Luna gulped wine, scoffed, "What is she? Old stick in mud, Ethan long tired. When we together, he said I'm more interesting than her." Ethan business developed well these 2 years, collaborated with many stars. Many fans familiar with his name. Video online, quickly fermented. Luna's fans flooded Ethan's studio account cursing, calling him scum. Some dug Serena name, traced to my work unit. My social accounts flooded with DMs, third-party die. Steal others' boyfriend, shameless? Doctor as mistress, medical ethics? Even anonymous letters to hospital, reporting my private morals deficient. Leader talked to me, I showed Ethan photos, explained timeline. Leader patted shoulder, clear self-clear, but public opinion affects hospital, take a few days off. I thanked, on way home phone kept vibrating. Stranger numbers sent curse SMS, one after another. I blocked, new numbers appeared. Mom saw my face wrong, grabbed phone, shook with anger, this too outrageous. Fine. I took back phone, few days it'll be good. This called fine? Mom cried, what did my daughter wrong, to be cursed like this? Dad silently smoked, after a while, stubbed cigarette, I'll go to Jiang family. I held him, Dad, I can handle myself. I logged into long unused Instagram, posted short text, I am Serena, with Mr. Ethan childhood sweethearts, dated years, already discussing marriage. From June this year, he started dating Ms. Luna. I learned on Christmas Day, now ended relation with Ethan. Past not pursued, each well. Attached chat records and photo timestamps. Sent. Shut down. Overnight, wind reversed. Ethan reposted my Instagram, only 3 words, sorry. Soon someone dug Luna early posts clues. Her flaunted gifts, trips, timelines all overlapped mine. No 3B3 still rake back? This cis mental strong. Those who cursed Dr. Serena before not apologize? Luna deleted all posts, but screenshots spread all net. Partner brands terminated, her account banned. Ethan's studio impacted. Partners paused projects, netizens boycotted his works. Under his latest post, dense mockery. Scum still make music? Don't insult art. Betray 28-year childhood love, what good song can this character write? Disgusting, boycott scum. He went silent, no more voice. Before Spring Festival, Ethan's parents visited. Mom stern not let in, they stood outside. Helen wiped tears, Serena, we didn't teach son well, but your year's emotion, really can't give him one more chance. Richard sighed, that bastard knows wrong, these days living like ghost, daily home drunk unconscious. Just pity him, okay? I stood inside, voice calm. Auntie, uncle, past matters let go. Later, don't come again. Serena. Helen wanted to say more. I'm tired. I interrupted, uncle, auntie, happy new year. Closed door, leaned on panel, heard faint sobs and sighs outside. Footsteps faded. Mom red-eyed hugged me, suffered you? I shook head. Not suffering. Really. Months later, I ended residency, switched to Beijing hospital. Leaving day, parents sent to high-speed station. Mom instructed all way, Dad silently carried luggage. Before entering station, I looked back. This city held all my childhood, youth, love. Also full of heartbreak and rebirth. Going. I waved. Holiday come back see you. New city fast pace, work busy. Rented small apartment, south balcony, planted pots of flowers. Colleagues friendly, occasionally dine shop together. I slowly learned badminton, weekends climb mountains. Days calm, fulfilling. Occasionally hear Ethan news, from net pushes. His studio disbanded, back hometown. Some say saw him teach kids guitar at training center, others say he opened small restaurant. True false, no longer relevant to me. Another Christmas. Department dinner, everyone lively sharing cake. I ate a coin, booed to wish. Closed eyes, I only thought, year after year safe. End time snowed, I wrapped scarf into subway. Phone vibrated, mom's voice, Serena, snowing, cold there? I smiled reply, not cold, indoor heating, just dined with colleagues. Subway whistled in, brought wind. I followed crowd on, found door position stand steady. Glass reflected my shadow. Neat short hair, light makeup, brows calm. Train started, outside lights flashed. I suddenly recalled many Christmas nights. 5-year shared chocolate, 19-year hard seat train hug, 23-year rented room cooking smoke. Then, convenience store damp cold air, hospital corridor pale lights, and that firm breakup. Those good bad, happy sad, all with rail vibration, thrown far behind. Arrived. I followed flow off, swiped out. Phone vibrated, bestie message, Merry Christmas. New skirt linked to you, super suits. I opened pic, beautiful red skirt. Good, bought. I replied. Out subway, snow stopped. Moon clear brightened sky, illuminating world. I stepped on my shadow, step by step, steadily forward. No look back.